Tonight I'm hoping to start my fire with a ferro rod and just using natural tinder, and it's going to be a bit of a stretch to find what I need out here, I think. But what I'm looking for is some pine resin, actually some fir tree resin, and then also some dry fine tinder such as grass or some dead inner aspen bark that I can mix together with the fir sap and use that as my tinder. And I'll carry my rifle along. Again, I'm still overly optimistic probably about finding a snowshoe hare, but when I leave the rifle behind, that's surely when I will see one. So I'm headed out to look for some fir resin. Okay, here's something that looks promising. Some potential tinder. An old dead aspen standing. It may be old enough that you can peel off some of the old dead bark. And there hopefully is some inner bark in there, which is just nice, dry, papery tinder that I can use then to mix with my fir tree resin. Alright, let's take a look here, see what we can see. Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Good, good. Yeah, it's pretty dry too. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. So finally, here's a fir tree with some good resin blisters. I'll see how much of these I can collect. Here's how I collect the resin. I take a sharpened stick, I pierce the bottom side of the blister, squeeze out as much of the resin as I can, collect it on the end of my stick, and then I wipe the resin onto my bundle of tinder, which in this case was the dry inner bark of that dead aspen tree. Alright, we're going to see if we can get this fire started. Here's my aspen inner bark. And I've wiped whatever pine sap and fir sap I've been able to find. So now you want to mix it in well, the sap and the bark. Get lots of as much fine fiber material as you can. The finer the better. And distribute that pine sap and fir sap in there as best you can. Okay, let's give her a try. Alright, there she goes. A few dry pine needles. More than a few. I go with my next size kindling. Alright, so there we have it. Fire for the night. So I won't be having snowshoe hare tonight, but I do have some alternatives that will be really good. I'm either going to have elk steak or some bottled duck legs, wild duck, that I shot here a couple of weeks ago. Okay, I've decided to have steak tonight. Actually just steak cutlets. There's a piece of elk steak. Nice bull that I shot this fall. Alright. A little bit of seasoning. A little bit of bacon grease. Alright. Now on the fire it goes. Alright, time to turn them. A few more minutes and we'll be done. So in the pot, boiling water for mashed potatoes. So, mashed potatoes and elk steak. The table is set and I'm ready for a wonderful dinner of elk steak and mashed potatoes. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Steak. Potatoes. Perfect. So good. It's delicious. Much better than snowshoe hare, I'm sure. Alright, dinner is over and dishes are done. This is for my wife to see that I really do the dishes when I'm out camping by myself. So the dishes are clean and fire is stoked back up. And I'm just going to sit by the fire and enjoy the evening. Of all the seasons for a walkabout, I think my favorite is winter. It's unparalleled in terms of peace and solitude. Beauty is just spectacular. I'll be very surprised if in the next 3 days I see even one other person. So have plenty of time to wander and ponder think about things, get recharged, and just enjoy nature for a few days. Well, those big logs are just about all burned up, so it's about time to go to bed. Okay, it's time to close down the door and button up for the night, get into bed, and go to sleep. Alright, there's the door shut. It's a lot heavier now that it's all full of ice and snow and the logs have soaked up some water. It's no small task to get that door closed or open again, so if I had 12 to 14 inches of new snow tonight, that might be hard to get out of there. It could be done, but it just would be a bit of a strain. Well, room for my pack, my gear, snowshoes, gun, sleeping bag, my cooking area over there. Pretty roomy, not bad for a 10 by 10 foot tarp. Alright, it's time to climb into bed. Turn out the lights.